Let's turn our attention to hockey, and my, oh my, what a big game there is in the Rossborough Men's Hockey Premier League. Backers A play Vikings A, and just before we really examine that one forensically, it seems to have been a good decision by the Manx Hockey Association to try and finish the suspended season and then move on.
Yeah, I think Manx hockey had it a lot easier than other sports in that there was only really 2 or 3 games to finish in the league. It did mean that we had to cancel the knockout competitions, so the cup, men's and ladies cups and plates. But it does mean we do get a complete season, which it has to be said. It's been a massive thank you to the Manx Hockey Association from all the players and Manx hockey community to be able to do this as well. Like I said, Manx hockey have had it slightly easier to other sports because I know football had a lot more games to play in, and obviously rugby was impacted by the travel arrangements as well.
Let's look at this tantalising game. It's at the National Sports Centre, 2:05 tomorrow. I know that you're heading down. Backers A against Vikings A. Winner takes all. Vikings A have to win. A draw or win, and Backers are champions again.
And I think going into this game, you have to say Backers are the favourites. They did struggle a little bit against Saracens last week, from what I understand, with Saracens missing an early flick, which could have changed the pace of the game. Saying that, though, Backers A did still win 5-0. Vikings A, they've been frustrating at times this season. They dropped a point against Saracens earlier in the season, which was a mega point for Saracens. Vikings felt like they dropped a point now a little bit. Which has put them on the back foot a little bit as well. They haven't been as free scoring. Backers A have been free scoring pretty much every week, except when they played Vikings A when it was a 2-2 draw. Vikings went 2-0 down in that game, and before it was just pre-lockdown. I still think Backers A are favourites. In fact, I've got a quote from Jamie Brown. He thinks it's going to be 3-2 and Jamie Brown's going to score the winner, which wouldn't be for the first time. I think the last time these two met in such a crunch fixture, Jamie Brown did score the winner in the final touch of the game.
The other game in the top flight of the men's is Valkyries A, Ramsey A. Rossborough Women's Hockey Premier League, that was all sorted last Saturday. Congratulations to Vikings A, who've regained the championship, and it's many a year since we've said they've regained rather than retained. So it's the final set of fixtures there. Other issues, Backers B in the Men's Hockey Division 1 sewed up the title in midweek.
Yeah, against Castown A. Castown A would have been hopeful of maybe a point or two there, but Backers B have been awesome this year. I played against them last week and they were 2-0 down, and one of their young players, Alex Freer, made the most stunning goal line clearance, and that's a tale of their season, is that they've just been so utterly determined from the get-go. They've been down in games where they've been maybe 2-3 goals down, they've come back, recovered and won the game or levelled the game right at the death. And that makes they've deserved to be champions.
It was two goals in the final 5 minutes,
yes,
wasn't it, last week, to get a vital point.
And the goal with the last touch of the game from Matt Greenbank, Captain Matt Greenbank as well. What it does mean for Castown A, however, is that it pulled them a little bit close to Valkyries B at the bottom of the table in terms of goal difference, and they face off against each other tomorrow. That is probably the second biggest game of the day for me. Although with the change of the leagues and the structures going into next season, this would have been a relegation position. Now it's more of a bottom of the table. None of these teams want to finish bottom, especially a team of Castown A's history and calibre as well.
Now, I remember last week you were saying that there were so many issues that could be decided last week, and in the end, not a lot got decided.
No, just one got decided in the end, and that was the Rossborough Women's Premier League.
So what else is still on the line as we go into this next Saturday?
So in terms of championships, we've got the Men's Premier League. We also have Rossborough Men's Division 2 and Rossborough Women's Division 2. The easiest one of those to explain is Rossborough Women's Division 2, where in order for Backers C to win the title, they have to win by 17 goals. So I'm not entirely sure that's going to happen, especially against the team just below them in the league in third, who are pretty mean and selfish with their defence at times, and very physical side, and I don't think Battersea are going to have 17 goals in them. If they do, I'm sure there's going to be some sort of forfeit suggested via text message to me very shortly. But I expect Viking Sea to be crowned champions in the Rossborough Women's Division 2 tomorrow.
Go on, have a go at explaining Rossborough Men's Hockey Division 2 then and the complications there. Are there still a few more games still to play there, or is it being curtailed somewhat?
No, there is still games to play, but for the games that matter, it is only one final fixture because this league had 7 teams that split at the halfway stage once they'd all played each other once. So at the top of the table, Backers Colts will win the league if they win. It's that simple. If they don't, and Saracens B draw or win, Saracens B win the title because of their superior goal difference.